to Improv Dance Festival 2013. It's great to have you all here in lovely Venice, California. We've gathered here for an event that is of monumental proportion. We have a duo for you tonight. Contact improvisation, collaboration between Stephanie Nugent and Shel Wagner Rasch. Now, the first part of the score here is that I'll introduce the dancers as they continue to warm up and do their own movement for a while. First up, we have Shel Wagner Rasch. He has been doing contact improvisation now for 28 years. She comes from a background of kind of acrobatic style movement, lots of monkey bars. In fact, her mother at one point told her, Shelly, your mother is not a monkey bar. So when she finally found contact improvisation, she was happy to finally find the monkey bar people. She's got, in addition to her acrobatic and other contact dancing, 42 years of dance experience. Now, if you do the math, she started when she was 6 years old, dancing since she was 6 years old. Hopefully, we can keep dancing all the way through life. In addition to her somatic practice, you'll see her somatic practice in the dance. So it's a great combination in Shel. She's going to be doing some more acrobatic kind of movements, in addition to like deeply feeling into her body, into the other person's body. The training of somatics really does that and influences the dance quite a lot. So that's great. Shel Wagner Rasch is excellent collaborator. You might see her favoring a knee. She's got an ACL replacement a while ago, and in addition to 3 children. All right, so this next part of the score, as I introduced Stephanie, they're going to start connecting energetically. What we're doing is making a distinction between actually physically connecting and separating, and then energetically tuning in to what the other person is doing. So there's different kinds of contact that we'll be stressing today. Stephanie Nugent is a current college professor at the California Institute of the Arts, teaching contemporary dance and performance. She's got a really great experience as a dancer, in addition to a choreographer. So that's something that Stephanie brings to the table. She's got all this choreographic experience with her own company, Nugent Dance, where she brings this kind of mindset to a live choreographic event, which is pretty much what we can say as improvisation and contact improvisation in general is a live choreography where you're doing it in the moment. So we can see her doing a little bit of that tonight. She's got 16 years of contact experience and 30 years of dance performance and training. She's got 2 herniated discs. Unfortunately, she's going to be favoring her right shoulder a little bit tonight as well. But that's something that she's pretty much fully recovered from. She'll be integrating that into her dance. You might see it affect her dance, as well as one kid on the way, not on the way, she's here already. Okay. Next is our score. We're going to make our first contact. We have this as a prescribed starting position, so they're going to start actually in a position. We'll have 1 minute to do this round, where they're going to start by feeling into the other body through this point of contact. Now, all the different layers that you can experience in contact improvisation, you're going to see them do right now, where they're going to start with just a skin contact. So the skin layer is something that you can really focus on as a performer to kind of have a understanding of the surface areas of where the other body is. So you can start to understand where their space is being filled. Also, what you can do is you can really have a more sensitive light pressure, and it slides really easily if you're focusing on the skin layer. Going deeply into the bone, you'll see that the point of contact is traveling. The bone is where you'll feel the other person's body structure. So you'll really be able to know where their body support is, where they're offering a structural support. The muscle layer is then where the power will come from. So you'll be able to feel and sense a tension if you're feeling into the muscle layer. Okay, that ends that round. It's time to dance, so we're opening up the floor a little bit more. That point of contact is going to be traveling all over the place now. You'll see Shel and Stephanie employing elements of hooking in this arm grip. they're almost doing a circus grip where it's a wrist-to-wrist grab. It's very solid. You'll see Stephanie trying to balance as she and Shel have a counterbalance that release right into a floor movement. Both of these improvisers are excellent at maintaining their own safety as they're attempting a move. You'll notice that they'll be able to get out of pretty much anything, any kind of situation they'll get themselves in. An excellent hip-to-hip connection went right into a lift there. Stephanie, to returning the favor, we got this balance down. That hip-to-hip connection is real solid. If you're going to do a lift, that hip-to-hip connection is the easiest way to sense where another person's center is. Look at that shoulder right in the center. That is excellent. It's great to see these two professionals moving like this for us tonight. Okay, and that goes right into a spin. That hook on the shoulder sent the momentum straight around, splaying onto the floor. Notice that they are not tuned out. They're connected in a energetic way still, even though they have disconnected physically. The dance continues into a floor dance where the improvisation can kind of take on a different kind of games. So they're playing a game right now with the floor, and then they'll find that contact point again eventually. A little bit of a tune out there. We're not sure whether that was a purposeful point of contact or if they just found it and had to deal with the consequences. Okay, now we got some solid bone connection here where we got a connection of the foot, a multiple point of contact that's separated out into a single point again, and then they go back to the multiple point for a move to the ground. Shel, rolling out of that easily, we'll see if they have another point of contact that generates itself or if they'll purposefully. Okay, that looked like it was pretty intentional that time. So something about this game playing is that while you're making contact, you can start to kind of have a character mentality to your dance, right? So you can take on a whole other kind of world that then you'll create in the imagination of the observers as well as the performers. So we can all imagine who they are right now, yeah? Okay, that's the end of the round. So we're moving on to an earplug dance. Now this sport is generated because, unlike other sporting events where the announcing is happening while the event is going on, but the performers can't actually hear the announcements, this one they can hear everything that I'm saying. So we're just acknowledging that in this next score, so they're going to actually put earplugs in so that they can't hear what I'm saying. That's going to influence it's going to influence their dance because it won't influence their dance what I'm saying. Okay, so that's actually a huge factor in the dance, is that when somebody is commenting on the dance movement that you're doing, it influences your choices of what you might do next, and instead of really tuning in to the other body, the other dancers. So in rehearsal, a side effect of earplugs is that you actually can't hear very well while you're dancing, and that limits your senses. So this is an effect that actually also influences the dance in the opposite direction. So we'll see how they deal with that challenge. They're not going to be influenced by me talking, but they also aren't going to be able to influence each other as well with that sound element, hearing the breath. Knowing where the other person is in space behind you by a footfall or something. So they're actually taking a slow approach, which is nice to see that they're not just going right for the fast, intense movements. But we'll see how that develops in this game that they're playing, going in and around, a little bit of negative space happening. This is great. So we got a point of contact that almost went into a lift. Not quite sure they're tuned into each other yet on this earplug dance. There seems to be a lot of misses in the attempts, but maybe it's just finding that right window, window of opportunity to jump through together into a really connected lift. That's nice. A little hip connection with the back of the shelf that Shel created there with her hips. Also Stephanie offering the shelf of her shoulder, which is continuing this nice slow approach. This is almost an adagio kind of contact duet at this point. I really enjoy their control. When somebody's in the air, you can see the tension that's being held between them so that they're more manipulatable in the air. If somebody's all loose and floppy when you're in the air, it's really actually difficult to manage them. Okay, we're going into more open score at this point, so we can take the earplugs out. Step right out. Step right out. Take the earplug out. you. Good night. It's great to have you here. We've got a couple other pieces coming up. Stay tuned.